We rolling? Don't forget to press record.
Yeah, literally.
We're rolling.
All right. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome to Pella, Iowa. Today we are hanging out with some folks who've been on the podcast before, and one, I think it might be your first time, this construction worker we found. So I'll introduce the guest really quick from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Cornell Mack. Say hello.
Hello, what's going on?
From Midlothian, Virginia, Naylor Taliaferro.
How you doing?
From Compton, California, now Pella, Iowa, Trevor Koolmees.
That's right. Hello. Welcome.
And from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Chase Gallagher.
What's going on, guys?
With this PPE.
Just got off the job site.
So we have been super blessed here. The reason we are in Iowa is Vermeer invited us because they wanted to show us about their historic company that started in 1948. My memory serves correct, by Gary Vermeer. And I want to get your guys' fresh take, as we have been absolutely blessed today learning about this culture. We're all building businesses, but the culture that we found here today is just absolutely epic. So Naylor, I'll start with you. We've done so many of these tours for so many of the largest companies in the industry, but today was very different. Why is that?
Well, before I knew that this was one of their core beliefs was people. I knew that this was all about people. Just from the very first interaction with anyone from the Vermeer team to the intro video to the museum tour and all the hospitality, I could just tell the culture immediately here, and that it's all about people. And then we learned that it is all about people here, and people is their biggest asset, I think, was what I saw on the wall. So one of the great quotes. So that is great people make great products. This is what I'm coming up with in my head based off of what I've experienced here. And there's a huge history, long history, like you said. And it's just been that family environment has just continued all the way through. So it's been an amazing experience, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, they've walked us through 1948 till today, 2025, and just how the company has grown into thousands of employees, a diverse product line, and it's been eye-opening as somebody. My team's small, but that company culture, we can talk about sports and things of that nature, but in business, the culture that we're finding here, it's in your DNA. So we'll get to you in a moment, Trevor, but Cornell, what's your fresh takeaways here?
Just the how innovative Mr. Gary Vermeer was, and I always in all of my podcasts and all of my YouTube videos with the creator created you to be creative, so create the life that you want. And he literally created this gigantic mile, and we get to see all of these cool things, and it came from one man creating something. God puts us here to be creative, and he literally created and then passed that lineage down to everyone, starting with his kids and then going all the way through the staff. So it's been super, super amazing to me too.
Yeah, and some of the things he created, he gave up on, that he called them flops, but other people took it. So in the museum, they showed, here's all the things that won, but he created other things. If he would have just stuck with it, it'd been, but yeah. Trevor, you've been here 8 years.
Yeah. Yep.
So you've eat, sleep, breathe this culture. What's it like?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you all did a great job painting the picture on, who we are, what our DNA is about. We talked this morning about our 4P philosophy, and people are the center of that 4P philosophy, and you all hit on that really well. And we're, like you mentioned, a family, owned company, and the family's heavily involved in the business, right? And they're living out a lot of Gary's legacy that you all mentioned, right? Like, we're a company that stands on our legacy and our 4P philosophy. And that's totally ingrained into who we are as a company and the people that you interact with, that we all got to see, meet, and experience today.
Chase, fresh off the field here in his PPE outfit, what have been your takeaways from today?
It's been extremely eye-opening to see what Gary and the company at Vermeer has created over the past 75 years. To go from, he was a farmer that created his first piece of equipment to 75 years later, having the operation he has today and seeing his humbleness. And we got to have lunch in his house today. I mean, it was kind of crazy, the experience you guys put us through today. So thank you. The hospitality from the Vermeer team was amazing. And what they're coming out with, like to piggyback off of what you were saying, when you have a culture of great people, they really care about the products, and then they care about their clients, and so what they're building here is pretty cool.
For sure.
Yeah. I want to talk about the 4 Ps.
Yeah.
So can you share, what each of those 4 pillars are?
Yeah, so the 4P philosophy, we talked about people there at the center of our 4P philosophy, but also there's 3 other important Ps there, and that's product, profit. We're a for-profit company, right? We're not a non-for-profit like all you. You're entrepreneurs, and we're, in the business of making money, as well as our product. So we got product, people, profit, and the 4th one is principles. So you all, and again, we're talking about the company's DNA and who we are, and our principles are extremely critical to that 4P philosophy as well.
Yeah, and Brenda did such a wonderful job giving us a tour. She is so passionate. I mean, she's like 1948, 1963, 1973.
Yeah.
And it was epic, but the theme of what kept coming up is treat other people the way you want to be treated. I mean, that seemed like that was Gary's foundational line. It's common sense, but
It's the golden rule, right?
yeah.
Treat others how you want to be treated, and that's a big part of what we're talking about Gary, but there's family involved in the business today, and that's who they are, right? That's how they interact with people on the shop floor, people in the front office. So that's still heavily ingrained in who we are today.
Yeah, so curious as you go back to your business in Philly and Pittsburgh and good old Midlothian, what's your main takeaway? What are you going to take away from this rich history of this company that's been successful way before any of us were ever born? What's one thing you're going to implement as the leader, of your company that you picked up on
Me?
this trip?
So one of the things that Brenda said that really stuck with me is that Mr. Vermeer was very budget conscious. Thought that I've been doing that anyway. Started out as necessity. I didn't have money. I'm just gonna take that and continue to do what I've been doing. To hear someone who has created something that is so massive now in the industry, I just know that by hearing that I was already doing something right. So I'm gonna continue to iron that home, but also take it into our personal life as well, because he was living that way. We got to see it. We literally ate in the house where they had a window air conditioner, because he was like, no. And then the coolest story was the dust coming in the house, so he paved the road so that the dust wouldn't come in the house to upset his wife anymore. But it wasn't actually for her, it was for the budget. So I just thought that was so cool.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about that financial discipline and principle of Vermeer was founded on?
I agree with everything Cornell said, and also to slight similarity to that is something that I took away from Gary himself and his story, is that he was all about service. Like, he's all about serving others. Like, he used the same lunchbox. We saw it in the museum. Like, he was still using the same 1940 something lunchbox that was barely still functional. And he was like, it works fine. I could still use it perfectly fine. Like, why do I need to spend money on this, that, or the other thing? Like, he had very specific priorities. Like, he wanted to make sure his family was taken care of, but he wanted to make sure his business was taken care of as well. And no matter how many millions of dollars, the company made over time, and as it grew and grew and grew, he didn't, drive around in a Rolls Royce or anything like that. He was just a very humble man, dedicated to service, like giving as much back as he could to the community and to his family, to his extended family, to the business. And he would literally, in his final years, sit in his house, and the arms of his chair in his kitchen that were starting to get worn, because he would just sit there and he would watch his company grow out of his window in his kitchen, and that just speaks so much volumes and just reiterates for me. I already have a mission to continue serving our community within the green industry at a higher level, and seeing a man of that caliber just gives me even more motivation and fire to keep doing that even more. So,
as somebody who works here, how is that DNA of that frugality? And obviously, profit comes from increased revenue, decreased expenses, but you guys are hyper focused on that. What's it been like working for a company with the kind of conservative nature of managing the money?
It gives us a lot of confidence as team members. I mean, we're truly standing on the shoulders of giants. You know, we're talking about history here. We're talking about the legacy of the company. But it gives you a lot of confidence as a team member that this organization wasn't built, you know, in a day, a week, a year. It has a rich history, and there's a firm foundation on what those core principles are that make up, you know, who we are as a team. And so it ultimately gives us a lot of confidence as team members, but also makes us, you know, excited to come to work, right? Whatever your job is on the mile, Vermeer has truly left a legacy on Iowa, on the Midwest, and across the globe. It's also made a tremendous impact on the community here in Pella.
You mentioned on the mile. For somebody listening, they're like, what is the mile? What's on the mile? Break this down for us, Trevor.
Yeah, so it's a term we use. Vermeer is in a rural town of Pella, Iowa, and you know, if you drive up from the highway, you see all these cornfields, and you know, out of these cornfields and soybean fields, you'll see a mile long by almost a mile wide facility, a series of different manufacturing buildings and different things of that nature. So that's what we call the mile, or you might hear some people say the magic of the mile, right? And that magic is a lot of what we're all talking about here this afternoon.
Chase, did you have any takeaways from the way the financial foundation is here at Vermeer?
Yeah, I think to, you know, even to add to the financial foundation, I think two things that really stood out to me. You know, I feel as if Gary made himself, you know, a part of the team, right? So like a lot of times CEOs, they travel differently, they live in different neighborhoods. Gary lived, I'm sure, in the same type of house that all of his, you know, 500 employees lived in. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he made it seem like he was one of them, a part of them, the same thing. And so I try to take that and do that as much as I can. If I'm on a job site, pick up a shovel, edge garden beds right alongside my guys, or move mulch, things like that. And the second thing we saw in the museum was like the big failures. What was that board called?
Flops.
The big flops. It's never, you know, I think I'm gonna go home and try and like try new things. He was not afraid to fail, and I think that's a huge part of success.
Fail forward. That's
Yeah.
what they call
Fail
it.
forward, yeah.
Fail forward.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big part of what gives me confidence too, that it's a culture where you can learn, right? We have a continuous improvement culture. We've been on that journey for 25 years, and failing and learning from those failures is a critical part of that.
100%.
We can't share with you the specifics of what's happening at Equip, but I'm going to be at your outdoor booth Wednesday, October 22nd, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you'll be unveiling something there. But you guys have all been going to Equip for quite a while. So what are you looking forward to at this year's Equip Expo week in Louisville?
I'm looking forward to a lot of the innovative things that are coming down the pike in our industry, because I have a smaller business and I'm not looking to grow to some $1 million with 20 employee type business. So I care about efficiency. So I'm really eager to see the new innovative things that are going to help a business owner like myself, so we can make jobs easier for us. That way we can get them, still continue to do things, right? There's a lot of times that we don't do jobs, Captain Jack and I, because we simply don't have the manpower or the machinery to do it. So I'm excited to go down there and see some of the new innovative things that are coming down, so that we can maybe purchase something like that to open ourselves up to more profitable jobs.
And I know Naylor really inspired you, Cornell, but and we'll get to your event on Thursday evening, because there's an epic update for this year with a friend of ours that's coming. But at Equip Expo on Tuesday afternoon, Mitchell Gordy always does a meetup at Merle's, which is growing. And then Naylor does his rally on Thursday evening, and you kind of found a gap there on Wednesday. Can you kind of share with us about what you got going on for the community this year?
Yeah, October 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. we'll be doing a 2025 Winning Life meetup, which we do games and door prizes, and it's just a big, like, fun place to be, because you get to compete. And I found that when you have sports, you and I talk about sports a lot, Paul, but when you have sports, it's one of those things that is a community builder. So people pull down their walls and they go out and they actually talk to one another whenever there's a basketball or a baseball, or in this case, a bowling alley. But we have arcade games upstairs, pinball machines, arcade games, pool tables, dartboards downstairs. Cash bar available. It's free to attend, thanks to the sponsors that we will be naming here very soon. But it's just about helping people to win in life. At the end of the day, one of the cool things about Mr. Vermeer is he's seen a problem, he solved the problem, it created a business, and then I believe all of these people that we've got to meet here are now winning in life because of him, because of an idea that he had. So this idea was born out of just going to the YouTube rally and feeling that energy and then wanting to create relationships with other entrepreneurs who understand what I'm going through and I understand what they're going through, and then we help each other so that we can all win in life, because that's really what it's all about.
And for somebody listening to this before Equip, can you share the venue? Because it's a different venue this year, correct?
Yeah, well, it's the same venue as last year, but it's called Vernon Lanes. It's on Story Avenue. And like I said, it looks really historic. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. The people there are awesome. The food was great last year. So we wanted to come back there and hopefully really do it even bigger than we did last year.
Awesome. And then on Thursday, Naylor, you got so much going on all week at Equip, but what would you like to share previewing Equip?
Well, to answer your first question, every year I look forward to going to Equip to reconnect with community. I mean, sometimes some people, this is the only time you see them. You know, it's like the place to be out of the whole year, because we live all over the country when it's an online community. So it's a great place to reconnect as well as make new friendships and relationships. But every year I'm so excited to also continue a new relationship. It seems like every year or every couple of years there's a new relationship with another brand that I'm excited to get to know more and use their products and communicate that, share all of that with the community. And I'm extremely excited and can't wait this year to see the reactions of everyone when they see what we already saw that Vermeer is going to be releasing on Wednesday, October 22nd at 2 p.m.
Be there or be
outdoor
square.
booth. Yeah,
right.
but
We signed an NDA, so we can't tell you.
yeah, right. So so that's an added bonus for this year. I'm excited for that. Excited for Vermeer and everyone that can utilize their products to be able to see all that. But yeah, there's a lot going on throughout the week. But just to piggyback on what Cornell said, and anyone listening, any events that we talk about or didn't talk about for Equip that are part of the online community, it's all on the Facebook group Road to Equip. If you go to Facebook and type in Road to Equip in the search, ask to join if you're not already, or just a friendly reminder, because that's where I pin to the top all of our meetups. So Cornell's meetup is there, so you register, it's free, but in order to keep track of everything and know how much, the same thing with the rally, the YouTube rally on Thursday, like in order to keep track of what we need, the food and so on, the brand partners want to kind of know what's going on and have that kind of heads up. So just go and register. So the link for that, for Cornell, his Wednesday meetup, and for the YouTube rally, and for Merrill's Whiskey Kitchen, there's not a link, but all the information, like where it is and when it is and all that, it's pinned to the top in the Facebook group. So it's just a hub. I created that many years ago so that we had a destination to go to, so that we can keep track of who's going to be where, when, why, and it becomes very interactive before that week and during that week. But yeah, for the YouTube rally, to what you're teasing, it's been 10 years since the infamous, and I call the godfather of our community, 10 years since Greg Chisholm, Geek to Freak, was at Equip. It was called GIE Plus Expo at the time, and that was 2015 was the last meetup. It wasn't even called the YouTube Rally yet. He was there. I met him in person. You didn't get to meet him. You weren't there that year. So he has been out doing other things all that time. So for 10 years later, he's coming back and he's going to hang out with us. Come to Equip. I think he's literally just coming in for the YouTube rally. He's going to drive in and hang out with us and then leave.
Wow.
So,
I might have to go.
yeah.
You know who he is?
10 years later, man.
Greg was the guy that I started my business from. I studied his videos when I was 13. He said he was like on his walkman mower saying, hey, if you guys want my flyer, like email me. And I was like literally emailed him that night.
Wow.
Like I copied and pasted his flyer. That's how I started my business. Was
Wow.
through Greg.
What an amazing
And
story.
I've tried to like thank him. I've sent him emails to that same email like 3 years later, just thanking him and stuff.
Yeah.
Never met the guy though, so I need to.
And that's the thing. There's so many people that haven't met Greg yet. You've met him since then, but there are so many people that haven't met Greg. So this is a great opportunity to be able to connect with him. That's an awesome story.
I want to interview. I got to interview Greg.
What are you laughing at?
Because I was so excited. We went to Greg's house. Naylor took me to his house to do a podcast. I got so excited, I left my shoes in his garage. I left without shoes on, and we drive to another state. And I was so starstruck. I was like, and then he called Naylor.
He had to like mail your shoes.
He like overnighted my shoes. And he's like, hey, did Paul leave his shoes? And I'm like, yeah. I was so nervous.
I got to watch that podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, he had shoes on for the podcast, but.
Yeah, I stepped in something here in these shoes. Anyway.
Yeah. On the job site.
Yeah. So anyway, y'all, if you're going to Equip Expo this year, there's just so much going on. So you have the actual show, which starts on Tuesday at the Kentucky Derby, Churchill
the
Downs.
welcome reception. Yeah.
Welcome reception. Before that, Mitchell Gordy has a meetup at Merle's from 3 to 6. Then Wednesday, the show opens up at noon to 5. Then your event is off campus at Vernon Lanes, 6 to 9 p.m.
6 to 10.
6 to 10 p.m., way past my bedtime. And then Thursday morning, this is pretty exciting. What's happening Thursday morning in the main ballroom?
Yeah. Thursday morning's the morning show. I can't remember how many years it's been now. It's been quite a while, but brought to you by Relco.
Shout outs to our friends at Relco.
But yeah, so that again, so the morning show is a unique experience where it's the keynote speaker room. So it's like multiple rooms that they just open up all the walls, and it's just this huge space where you can come in, sit down, hang out, and watch us on stage podcast live. It's just like this unique concept. During COVID, I was like, we're all starting all these podcasts. Why don't we do something different? Because it was called Influencer Live at first, and we had like a live panel where a bunch of content creators were on stage, and there's Q&A with the audience. And I kind of evolved it into the morning show where we are actually podcasting live in front of a live studio audience. The audience still gets to ask us questions. Cornell is always good for at least one good starter question to get everybody going, He's in the audience like, I got a question, Pajak, so he gets it going for us. But we literally have 3 different episodes. Like it starts off with my podcast, LCR Media Podcast. This year I'm interviewing Standard Monkey Genetic. And then followed by the Green Industry Podcast, what we're listening to right now with Paul Jamison. You're going to be interviewing Jeremy Talboy. You can give all the details to that, and I'm sure you've already talked about that. And then we follow that up with Caleb Allman, the Kid Contractor Podcast, is going to be interviewing Cornell Mack. And he is from the audience to the stage, Cornell Mack, so Mack Landscaping. But so it's a good time because it's an hour and a half that blows by in like seconds, and it's like standing, or minutes, maybe not seconds, but it goes by fast. Maybe not for the people standing along the walls, but we're always trying to get extra chairs in. So get there early is the point, 8 a.m. So before the show even opens, 8 a.m., you get to go into the morning show. There's coffee, donuts, water, refreshments. You get to meet so many leaders in our industry that are there, including obviously who we're interviewing, and then after you get to talk to them, hang out, shake their hands, and then you just head on into the expo. So it's a great way to start off the day, the longest day of the week, which is Thursday, from open to close, inside, outside. It's a great opportunity to connect.
Yeah, we started an hour before the showroom floor opened. So 8 a.m. Naylor starts his podcast, and it's first come, first serve on the donuts, all thanks to Relco. They'll be, getting all that catered for us. So that's 8 a.m. The morning show starts in room B103. It's the main ballroom.
Yeah, you can't miss it. You walk into the main entrance, what we would think of, and you turn left, and it's right there, the same place where the keynote speaker is the day before. So, and it's evolved so much, and I just want to thank Equip for being such great partners. And they saw the potential with partnering with content creators and the online community, growing the industry from within, right? Because there's a small community that has a big reach, right? Because there's so many people watching, listening, all the above, participating in in-person live events, and it's like I've said before, it's an experience. It's hard to explain. You just have to experience it, and Equip saw that, and they were like, okay, we need to, like the owners, the managers of Equip, they're like, let's partner with them and see what we can do. And that's, I feel like, has really contributed to growing the show. And they're very open and receptive. Every year, Chris Kaiser's like, what do you need us to do? You know, what do you want? You guys put butts in seats.
Yeah, that's his thing. He literally tells us, what do you want from us, Paul? Like, Chris Kaiser is the president of the Outdoor Power Equipment Institute. He's the head honcho in our industry.
That runs Equip, yeah.
And he gets it. He sees the power of Greg making a YouTube video, you starting a lawn care business, and then us collectively as an industry saying, hey, go to Louisville for Equip. Other trade shows, their attendance, trade shows in general,
Either plateaued or going down.
or going down. The Equip Expo, it's like a hockey stick.
It's like skyrocketing.
It's just, you know, the hockey stick, where
Yeah,
it's like the attendance, because of content creators talking about, I'm going to Louisville to Equip. And I'm sure you guys have seen, you were telling us off air of how much of an important role Equip is for Vermeer.
Absolutely, yeah. It's our Super Bowl. You know, we started off with small booth inside, outside, and now we've got, I think, something like 150 by 150 booth outside where people can, you know, get hands-on with the equipment. And just like you all talking about, there's so many people in this industry that are so passionate about the green industry, and so we're super stoked to be a part of it.
Yeah, and thanks for inviting us to partner with you. I know I'm planning on being there again Wednesday, October 22nd, 2 p.m. They're going to be unveiling what we just saw, and you're definitely going to want to see that. And that's outside. So you guys have an indoor booth and an outdoor booth, but you can actually demo outside at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that. Chase, you told me a story off air that you went to it's called GIE.
Yeah.
You didn't even have a driver's license.
No, I was 15, and my team member, also my buddy at the time, was 16, and so we booked our flights. I think that at the time we were worried about not being like the Uber driver kicking us out because you had to be 18, but we could still start an account. So we got our flights, Ubered over there, and then I remember like we were trying to go to these after party things, and like it was our first time. We didn't know what like was going on, so but like you couldn't even get in because it was all just drinking and bars and stuff. So we were like just scooting around the town, like checking it out. It was fun though. I saw Keith Kelf was there for the first time. So yeah, a lot of great stuff happens there.
Cool. Well, is there anything we're leaving out about Equip? Because I know we talk 365 days a year. You know, we're in group text talking about this detail, that of detail of the whole week in Louisville. Coming in on Sunday this year, you're actually doing an event on Monday in Louisville.
Right.
Jack, our mutual friend John's like, Naylor, I'm worried about Naylor. He's bit off more than he could chew again. And
You said that to you?
yeah, he's all bent out of shape. And I was like, why are you
man.
worried about it? When we were in West Palm Beach last week.
Man.
He's all worried about
Yeah.
you. But you have a full week. Do you want to share what you're doing on Monday and Tuesday?
Well, yeah, in addition to what we already spoke about, I decided to move my 2-day conference, essentially. It's a 2-day workshop called the LCR Summit, where we collectively get leaders in the industry to help you learn what you need to get your business to the next level, essentially help you build a business that serves you instead of being a servant to your business, whether that's coming down to knowing your numbers in your business to be profitable, all about the people, how to create company culture, how to find and keep the right people, how to market your business, something that some of the multi-million-dollar businesses that I know, they don't even market their business. They're just so used to just getting whatever they get from wherever, and then it starts to plateau, and they wonder why. It's like, when's the last time you've actually had an active marketing campaign? Like, do you even have a budget for marketing, or are you just relying on, we're just always so busy, whatever? But so it's like, you know, marketing is still something, maybe you don't, you know, it's an ebb and flow. Like, you don't have to always be marketing full bore, but there should be a plan and budgets, and check it, follow up quarterly. And, you know, social media is a thing. You know, you don't have to be an influencer to be on social media. That's the best way to market your business, is on social media. But so many guys out there and girls are like shy away from social media because they think, oh, it's just for those YouTubers. And it's like, no. Social media is what everyone uses to look at anything. You know, like whether it's an ad or you're going on Amazon and you're looking at the reviews. You've got 3 different items that are all the same but from different brands. We're like, I don't know, you look at the reviews. Well, that's what the same thing social media does. So anyway, there's just so many different aspects like that that we cover in 2 days. And it's going to be on Monday and Tuesday again this year and at Equip. We did it last year for the first time in Equip. Before that, it was in Atlanta. But I felt like it was a good way to get more access for people that are already going to Equip. Just take the whole week as a business trip, and you can get there on Sunday night, and then you have Monday, Tuesday, the LCR Summit. I mean, last year we had the Lawn Care Millionaire there. In the past, we've had Keith Kalfas there, so names that that Chase has mentioned. This year, we've got Mark Bradley stopping by to do a fireside chat. You're going to be there, Paul. I'm going to be there. Cornell's going to be there emceeing. Again, did a great job last year. John Pajak's going to be there. Jonas Olson from he's the pest control millionaire. So like, I have a big network that I try to access to benefit everyone, because we can only learn so much from landscapers, right? Like we have like a ceiling, but if we go outside the door into another building that might have a higher ceiling or a different environment, now we learn something from them, like, oh wow, they do this in pest control, that's crazy, that's amazing, like let's do that, or they do this in the lighting business or the window cleaning. We went to a convention a while back that we got exposed to so many other aspects of the service industry. So I put all those connections together. So Jonas Olson's $10 million plus pest control company, so many locations. I think he's got over 200 employees. So he's going to be talking about company culture and how he thought that was just like a gimmicky term until he actually realized how important that was. And he can go into any of his locations and feel the culture, if it's right or not, and dial it back or dial it forward and all that. So anyway, there's a lot of great folks coming to help everyone learn, and that's Monday, Tuesday, the 20th and 21st. Go to lcrsummit.com if you want more details. I don't want to take any more time on the podcast.
Yeah. So I'm planning, I already booked my flight. And one thing about not living in Atlanta anymore, when I lived in Atlanta, everything was a direct flight. To any city in the world, Atlanta has a direct flight, I'm pretty sure. Because I never got, Naylor always like, I got a connection in St. Louis or Charlotte or whatever. It's like, what's a connection? And now I know, because now I live in Tampa, so I have to fly to Atlanta, then to Louisville. But I booked my flight for Sunday night. So Lord willing, I'll get there Sunday night, attend your event Monday, Tuesday, be in the Vermeer booth Wednesday, October 22nd at 2 p.m. And then I booked my flight back to the Sunshine State on Friday. So I'm planning on being in Louisville all week. So my next question is, what's your guys' tip for a first timer going to Equip? Because we have a lot of people, I'll name them. Kevin Salters, I finally persuaded him. He's coming down from Connecticut for the first time this year. My bookkeepers, the Coberleys, they actually got a booth, a West Wing. Should have got a South Wing, Joey, but they got there in the West Wing. But they're coming for the first time this year. And then I'm sure there's multitudes of others who are coming to Louisville this year for the first time. So I'll start. My biggest mistake, my first year, I stayed at the Red Roof Inn.
I think that's where I stayed too the first year, you and my buddy.
Yeah, so my tip, and now you guys can all share your tip, but my tip is book your lodging immediately. Like, don't wait till tomorrow, because all the good hotels, like, the Hilton Garden Inn right by the Kentucky Exposition Center, all those fill up fast, and then you got to go farther and farther and farther away. So if you know you're going to Equip, get your hotel. There's a cluster of hotels right outside the Kentucky Exposition Center. If you look on a map, like the Hilton Garden Inn, I'm sure that one's already sold out, but those are good to stay at, or downtown. There's the Galt House, there's the Marriott, there's the Omni. Hotels you've heard of that have good ratings, those are usually good, but I would not stay at the Red Roof Inn. So that's my hot tip. What's your guys' tips for first timers?
I'll jump in here. I think one of my tips for a first timer, I've gone to 8, so maybe not as many as all of you, but just say yes, right? We're talking about so many great opportunities here to plug in, right, throughout the week, before the show, after the show. So ultimately, we're all there to grow, learn from one another. So just encourage you, get outside your comfort zone and say yes.
I think I was going to say the same thing, like just get a good rest the week before, because you want to take advantage of every opportunity. But and if you can't find a hotel, what I've done the past couple of years is just get an Airbnb. I'm usually there with an entourage of people, so it'll be 8 or 10 or 12 of us in an Airbnb, and those always work out. You got to watch the neighborhood you're in, but you learn the first time.
I've never stayed in an Airbnb, and I've never booked one. I'm always just figure out a hotel.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do that, including at Equip.
I know. I just
Especially if the hotels are always booked, it's like.
Yeah. I mean, it's good when you have multiple people too. Like if you're bringing your whole team with you, or you're staying with other landscaper friends that you have. That's a good like house party. Just have a good old time there. But speaking of that house party, like that for me, I would just say pacing is key. Like when I first time I went to Equip, I wanted to do everything, like everyone's suggesting, but you can't do everything. So I'll play devil's advocate a little bit and just make sure you pace yourself. It's all about pacing, because if you stay up till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, hammered every night, you're taking from the next day's energy. You're depleting yourself. So now you're going to get up later, you're going to start later, and before you know it, Friday's going to be. I remember back in the day, I wouldn't even see people on Friday because they were just so done and just so exhausted. They just slept through like everything. By the time they woke up, Equip closes a little bit early on Friday, and they're like, oh, forget it. I'm just going to go grab something to eat, see who's still in town, then pack up and head home. And it's like, so pace yourself, right? Like in order to get the most out of the opportunity, you have to give yourself the most opportunity. So you like that?
We might make that a clip. Instagram reel.
Wait, say that again?
Say that again.
I can't. You expect me to remember what I just said? Come on.
It didn't click in my head.
Opportunity.
It's all good. Opportunity of a lifetime. You can say that one. It's all
The
good.
opportunity of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of the opportunity. That's standard radio, right?
Yeah. So anyway, it's just all about pacing. To just make sure that you don't overdo it, so that you can get the most out of everything. So that's something that I learned. That's why I can do so many things, because I pace myself. I don't stay out till 2, 3 in the morning because I felt like I had to in the beginning. I didn't get hammered. I was never that kind of a person. Nothing wrong with that. But in this situation, you want to get the most out of it. Are you going there to get hammered, or are you going there to get the most out of the situation through networking, business, learning, right? Like, do you want to actually show up for Equip with a clear mind and learn? Do you want to be able to have good conversations and network, or do you just want to get hammered and sleep in? It's not a vacation. It's a working, it's a business trip. It's a working vacation, whatever you want to call that. But so anyway, it's all about pacing for me.
I'd say 2 things is, number 1, have a plan. Go see the things that are relevant to you, right? Like some people are just out here mowing grass like me. That's fine. Start with the things that are going to serve you in your business and work your way out from that. So like if you don't operate dingos and trenchers and things like that, save that for Friday. Make sure on Wednesday and Thursday that you're focusing on things that are going to help your business. So have a plan would be number 1. Number 2, don't be afraid to talk to people. We walk through here and you see people and they want to say something and they think that someone's going to be mean. Well, we're all here for the same reason. And I ain't speaking specifically for myself. I mean, whether it's an influencer, quote unquote, someone you see on YouTube or something like that, or if it's just someone else who might have a cool logo on their shirt and they're just a business owner, go and speak to them people. Open your mouth, man. You can't get anywhere without information in today's age. And Equip Expo is a place where people want to give you the information. If you don't have a friends group at home, like at the beginning of my business, I didn't have people to talk to. When I went to Equip Expo, I had people who was willing to tell me, quote unquote, their trade secret. There's no secrets out here. We can all get it from the internet. But when you get it from Naylor himself or Paul himself or Chase or X person who's just a business owner, you realize something like, oh, maybe I was doing things the right way that I've been doing them, or maybe I can change some things and adapt to get better. So I'd say have a plan and make sure you're not afraid to ask people questions and create relationships while you're there, because those will take you further than anything else, I think.
Yeah, another mistake I made my first year was 2017. I wore these fancy shoes. I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to impress whoever. Bunch of rednecks there, I'm single, but what am I doing with these fancy shoes? And I was so uncomfortable. So now I wear shoes that I don't mind getting dirty. And I actually throw I wear Hoka's, hashtag not sponsored, but I just throw them in the washing machine and wash them anyway. So wear comfortable shoes that you don't mind if it's outside. One year it was really dusty out there. One year it was crazy muddy out there. Your shoes are going to get dirty outside. but you are going to walk a lot. So wear comfortable shoes that you don't mind getting a little dirty. Is there any other tips that you have for people who are traveling near and far to go?
I'd say eat before you get to the event. And just eat before you get to the event. I don't want to say any other thing that's disparaging. I would just say eat before you get there.
I agree with that statement.
Uber Eats, hashtag not sponsored. That's another option as well. Get food in that's maybe not from the convention.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good. I'll give you a tip that I learned from Naylor for those of you who do make content. So my first year, and I got 1% battery on my phone. I should have charged it. Oh man. So I would be like, oh man, there's Keith Kalfas. Hey Keith, can I? And I'd film an Instagram reel or story. I try to do it, and the Wi-Fi is so raggedy in the expo center, and when I'm trying to load it, the thing's just stuck, the little circle.
Yes.
And it's stuck, and then I was like, oh, Stan Genetic, but then my Keith Kalfas story's stuck, and I'm all frozen and discombobulated. So Naylor told me this, and my phone's about to die, but he's like, open up your camera, and then just film regular. Hey, what's up, guys? And then when you get back to the hotel or you get back to your car, then upload your Instagram story. So for anyone who's gonna make content at the event, that's something I learned from you.
Wow.
Wear comfortable shoes, stay hydrated. What anything else we're missing out on for?
It also keeps you present in the moment too, because like you're meeting Keith Kalfas or Greg Chisholm for the first time. You want to get a picture, but don't worry about posting it or it's on your story. And now you got to like load it and hashtag and all this. Like just take a picture and put your phone away and then enjoy that whatever is left at that moment, right?
I was so nervous when I met Keith Kalfas. I was at your event, the rally. I see him and Ashley, and I think they had their dog, and I had to watch Keith on YouTube and Greg. So I'm like starstruck by these guys. It's like you're meeting an athlete. You're like, oh my gosh, like if you ever met Michael Jordan, you'd be like, that's Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh. But in lawn care, it's weird. But a guy who mows grass, Greg, like if you meet him, you'll be like kind of nervous. You know what I mean?
That's how it was with Keith the first time. But yeah, I'm sure it would be even worse with Greg. Yeah.
So I was like that for whatever reason. Keith Kalfas, he's just a regular guy, like
He
us.
is,
But I was kind of like, oh my gosh, and there's Wifetron, his wife, and then
exactly the wife. I still use that phrase.
Yeah. So I was like, hey Keith, I'm Paul. Like I watch your videos, and he's like, hey, what's up, bro? He's like, hey, can I ask you a favor? I know we just met. He's like, you mind filming this? Because he wanted to film his grand entrance in the Naylor's event. So I was like, sure. And I forgot to hit record.
That ain't the first
Following
time.
him around, and he's like, "We good, bro? We good?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm following him around, and he's all right. Let me look at it, and I never. Oh, and then Matt Lamar.
First impression.
Yeah, and then Matt Lamarche there, our friend. He's kind of.
Yeah. Even keeled.
Yeah, but he's like, you blew it. And, he's like really. It's hard if you don't know him, you don't know him. But he like just.
Let's smash it. We used to call Matt. Let's
Yeah.
smash it.
He was like, you had your chance and you blew it.
You're like that.
Oh man. Good times. Anyway,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything else we're leaving out that you think could help somebody go into Equip for the first time this year? We got a bunch of veterans here, 8 years.
I mean,
Long time.
I think we about covered everything. I mean, I know there's a lot of good stuff that Chris Kaiser has said on all of our podcasts in the past, like, get there early, don't all park in the same place, don't all come in the same entrance. Like the GPS is always taking you to that one main entrance, go to the back, by the West Wing and all these other places
Yeah,
that no
so
one goes to.
The south parking lot, when you get there, it's easy. Everyone comes in, but then at 4 or 5 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday, everybody, and they all got their pickup trucks, a bunch of rednecks are all leaving, and there's only a couple.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah.
There's only a couple ways to get out on the Crittenton Drive. So this is a secret that's not so much of a secret, because we're telling you. But where we park, can we tell them where we park?
Yeah, go right ahead.
We park back behind
Chris is telling everybody it now. So
Yeah,
it's not a secret
so we
anymore.
park back behind the building, and there's a skywalk.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a nuisance when you get there because you got to walk across the skywalk. But then at 4:35, when everyone's leaving, you walk back over the skywalk. You get in your car and you just leave. There's really no traffic.
Yeah.
So that's a pro move.
Yeah. And also for those of you that for the first time, Equip has put put in so much effort. I mean, not only did they buy out, the parking, so parking is free, so you can just come and go quickly and easily, which helps reduce that bottleneck. But also they have all these buses now that shuttle you all over town. So like they say, just get to Louisville, we'll take care of the rest. So you don't even need a rental or to drive. Just fly in, get an Uber to your hotel. One of the hotels, that's many hotels that are listed on their website that you can get a shuttle to and from, and you're good to go. And you can go to Equip, you can go to your hotel, you can go downtown, you cover all the bases, and you can walk in between those places if you need to go anywhere else. And there's plenty of people that you could meet that you can carpool with too, if that's a thing. But most likely it's just easier now to just hop on a shuttle if you don't already have a vehicle. For me, like, I'm gonna have a vehicle because I'm doing so many things. But if you're just going down there to enjoy the event, in the week, don't even worry about it. They've just put so much effort into making it the best experience for everybody, especially the newbies, right? So that you're not overwhelmed with everything. Where do I park? How do I go? Which entrance? Don't even worry about it. You know what? Just fly in, Uber to Equip, and then you can take buses anywhere you want in town from there. So.
Yeah. If I would, just to add on to that, if I could give any advice to the new people, because if you've been there before, you know all of this. You know all of this. But if you're new, I remember myself being resistant because I gotta do leaf cleanups and fall cleanups and things like that. I can't go down there, I'm gonna be missing money. When I started my business, I felt like a person who cuts grass, just like that. And I would go to my wife, who was an auditor at a bank, her Christmas dinners and everything for her bank, and they would say, what do you do? I'd be like, I cut grass. I mean, I have a grass company or something like that. I would say that. I felt like inferior almost because they were corporate and I ain't a redneck, but I was a grass cutter, right? And then you go to Equip Expo. And when you get down there, it literally changed my life. I got down there and I was no longer a grass cutter. I was a business owner, an entrepreneur, someone who was ready to go out and change everything about my life so I could be a winner in life. And the people who make those excuses are losing that opportunity Naylor talked about to create some sort of lasting relationship, to make that one reel that's going to go viral, that if you are creating content at home, maybe you go see some new innovative thing and that blows your channel up, but you're not there because you're doing leaf cleanups. So I would say, of all the advice, go get in the room. Come down here, man. Come down for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And if you don't feel like your life has been changed in your business, like what you think you could become from that, then this ain't the right industry for you, because that event is just mind-blowing what it did to my psyche. It made me just think differently about what this could be.
Very well said. And I had the same experience. I was a glorified chuck in the truck my first year attending. You see all the excellence of the manufacturers, and then you see all these companies that are there. Like, you're bringing your team, Chase. Like, there's other companies there with their team, and you see the professionalism of the industry, and it pumps you up. You're like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Yeah. And I went up a couple notches my first year for sure.
And you also get to talk to, you ain't just talking to other lawn bros. There are literally owners of companies. There are CEOs there. There's marketing directors. There's high-ranking people in all of these big companies that there are out here. And when you go have a conversation with one of those people, and you actually can have that conversation, it does something for you. Right? When that person, you can have the conversation and you're on equal footing. They're not a CEO talking down to a grass cutter. They're a business owner talking to a business owner at that point. And when you feel that, I believe that was the thing that really changed for me, was talking to people and then getting to talk to upper echelon people who maybe you look up to, and then you have this conversation with them, you realize, hey, they're just regular people.
That's good. Well, as we land the plane here, I want you to share kind of your biggest lesson from today. I'll start and let you guys kind of think about. We've experienced so much yesterday and today. But one thing I learned from Gary is work ethic. So I think it's called nepotism when you have a kid, and Johnny's playing video games in the basement. You're like, well, come work for the family business, Johnny, and he's a loser. But because
got them laughing out there.
They're probably laughing at something else.
Oh, get the.
They definitely laughing at you.
They're definitely laughing at you.
I don't. Everybody watching TikTok. But my point, I've seen this.
He's a loser.
Well, he is. There's businesses, not Vermeer,
Right.
but there's businesses where the children just get a free pass because
Right.
their last name.
And they run the business into the ground, or they don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you have a wealthy family, and the mom or dad, whoever generated the wealth, built it by working and serving people, and they had good money management. And then they give it to, they pass away and give it to the kid, and then it's all squandered. So what I took away from today is Gary was thinking years out and decades out, and his children. We drove past the CEO now, who is his grandson,
That's correct. Yep.
and he didn't get a free pass. He had to go to college. He had to go work at least 3 years somewhere else, which I believe he worked for. He's like a rocket scientist. Or
For
something.
NASA.
Yeah.
Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
So he had to.
I believe you work somewhere else, like NASA. Yeah.
It's a true story. Yeah.
So you could just tell I don't know what you guys thought, just watching him walk down the sidewalk, but he's going to talk to the brand new people who are just onboarding to work here now at orientation or whatnot, and you can just tell he's earning their respect. And I just, for me, it's like, wow, I want to have, first of all, I want to get a wife and have kids, but once I have kids, I want my son to have work ethic and have money management, and like to see this. Now that was the third generation, right?
That's correct. Yep.
So I'm taking that away, like as a leader of my home, future home. That's what I want my children and grandchildren to have: is work ethic, is character, and that's my lesson learned. What about you guys? And you can chime in too.
Sure. Yeah. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts.
I'd say, if so I can get me out the way, I'm the most long-winded person. I'd say set a high standard. Like here, everything is done to a perfection level here. Like, and if it isn't, they have quality control people that send it back so that it can get redone. Like if you set a high standard for yourself in all aspects of life, you're bound to win eventually. So I'd say set a high standard. Just this thing that we're in right now, absolutely professionally done. The store, the offices, the manufacturing, that we got to see how they do everything, how everything is in its own place. People are cleaning up for their next shift, and then that person cleans up for their next shift. It's like everything is set to a high standard so that everyone can operate at peak efficiency. So I say set a high standard.
And what was the question?
What's your main lesson that you learned today?
I think the one thing I think from my generation is you see these massive corporations and they're not owned by one person or a family, like they're owned by private equity. So sometimes as a young person growing a business, you're like, is this even doable? So I think just being here and seeing the growth of this company and the families and like almost like the American dream is still doable. It's very inspiring.
I honestly just want to say that I'm grateful that Vermeer reached out to us and wants to work with content creators to share their story, because what an amazing story you have to share. And I think there's a lot more people out there in our industry that will benefit from it and need to hear it. So I'm glad to be a part of it in whatever way that I am.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's really well said. You all have hit on a lot of great things. I think my biggest takeaway today is just reinstilling for me why I'm here, right? It's sometimes refreshing to hear people who have, new perspectives and see things from a different light maybe. So it's just reinvigorating for me, knowing my why and just understanding the legacy, right? And we all play a part in your own companies, and we're all playing a part here today in ultimately Vermeer's legacy. So thank you.
And is there any final remarks you want to share about the Vermeer story? I know we've all been just consumed with it over the last 24 hours, but what would you say to somebody who's listening and they're like, Vermeer, I've seen that, that wood, tree, something, yeah. Vermeer. What exactly is Vermeer, and why is we all here in Iowa?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about the family and their legacy, right? The 4P philosophy. But Vermeer's truly living it out, right? So for the people, you mentioned the American dream, Chase, that is something that, growing up in California, coming out to Iowa, it was eye-opening for me as well, just how vivid it is here in the company, but also in the community, right? The huge impact that it has. So I just want to let all you know who are watching that you all make a big impact, not only in your families, but also in your communities. So it takes each and every one of us, and for all those entrepreneurs out there, you are the lifeblood of your communities in this country. So continue doing what you're doing. Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Cool. Well, how can people connect with you or your events?
For me, you can follow me at Mack_landscaping 412 on Instagram. If you put Mack_landscaping 412 in any of the platforms, I will pop up. But YouTube is Mack Landscaping and Lawn Care, and Winning Life events and all of that stuff is all on my Instagram, so you can sign up for everything there. Any podcast, we got the On the Attack with Mack podcast that we do every Monday night on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and soon LinkedIn, as well as co-streamed every Monday night. We have guests on, motivation, inspiration, and even sometimes education.
LCR Media Podcast is where I frequently am on all of the platforms. I've been consistent for four plus years, two days a week, always posting, always uploading, a podcast episode. It's LCR Media Podcast, but you can find me on all the platforms. It's easier just to Google LawnCareRookie, which is what LCR is short for, Naylor LCR, but that's the easiest way. You'll see all the stuff: YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the things. Snapchat, whatever, TikTok, I'm on all the things, but it's hard to keep up with it all. Podcasting has been my easiest, most consistent format, and it's one of my most enjoyable. I still post on YouTube and Instagram frequently as well. Instagram probably is the second most frequent, so you can find me there, all those places.
Cool. And how can people connect with Vermeer? At Equip, online, in dealers? Explain.
Yeah, so certainly, like we talked about, come see us at Equip. We've got that new innovative product that we're going to be unveiling October 22nd, right, 2 p.m. We're doing a college game day theme, so if anyone's into college game day, that's going to be the theme of the day. So come, feel free to be at that event, and then we are going to be there for the whole event, all 3 days, right? So feel free, stop by the booth, come say hi to us. And then if you are interested in Vermeer equipment, we have local dealers, so feel free to go to Vermeer.com, type in your zip code if you don't know who your local dealer is. It'll tell you their contact information there. Feel free to reach out to them if you have any equipment needs or questions.
And you guys can reach out to me at Chase_Gallagher on all platforms. That's GALLAGHER. Shoot me a message on Instagram, and you can check out my business, CMG_landscape on Instagram.
Cool. And I want to conclude, Naylor, share about the hospitality, because thankfully we've been blessed to get to travel and see so many of the manufacturing tours and everything, but we had some unique experiences today about your hospitality.
Yeah, honestly, I've never experienced any hospitality at the level that I've experienced here at Vermeer, and I've said it multiple times throughout the day because I mean it, and it's just really, it's been really impactful to me to even know that, and promising to know that there's a brand that actually exists like that, that has the people in mind at that level. Nothing wrong, nothing to say bad about any other brand, but Vermeer just, it's about the people, it's about family. You feel like you're a part of their family once you're here, and that's very rare to find that. Even companies that started that way, they outgrow it, they become this or that, or they sell or whatever, and things just start to change. So Vermeer is that company that you really feel like you're a part of the family, and they make great product because they're a great family making great products. So it's just, hospitality is an understatement. Again, I can explain it all day long, but you have to experience it. So maybe you'll invite some more people here, or they go to the booth, indoor, outdoor at Equip, and they'll be able to experience that too. So
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's an open invitation. The doors are open, so if you do see us at Equip and you want to come experience the magic of the mile, flag one of us down. We'd love to talk about you coming here and experiencing some of the hospitality that Naylor and the rest of the crew are talking about.
Oh, that's another thing. They're saying this is open to the public, like the museum and everything. You can just come in and just check out the history of the mile.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
I've never even heard of anything like that. So great job, thank you.
Yeah, we're in Pella, Iowa.
Well, Iowa. There you
Pella,
go.
Iowa. Yep.
Really like it here. And Brenda, who toured us around all day, she's been here 44 years.
Yeah.
Which is just a testament to the company culture. That's way longer than I've even been alive. And you're working on 8 years.
Yep.
But that's a good sign when you start working for a company and people have been working there for decades. It's rare in our day and age. Well, safe travels, everybody, to Louisville. Hopefully we persuaded you to join us all. We've all been going for multiple years, and it's the big Super Bowl event. So we'll, Lord willing, reconvene in good old Louisville, Kentucky for the Equip Expo. Thanks again to Vermeer for hosting us. We're very grateful. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks behind the takeout window. We have good job, guys.
Thanks, producer.
We have excellence in broadcasting, so we have some very good audio engineers and sound and video guys as long as they hit record.
Oh, I see the red lights.
If
Oh,
you
I
know, you
so
know.
it should be
Red
good.
light, yeah. So, all right, thanks for watching.
Have
Hope
to
you
get
catch
back
you
on the
next
job
one.
site.